This podcast is a member of the Place to Be Nation family. Visit us at placetobenation.com, the only place to be in your pop culture world.
You are listening to a special edition Hard-Traveling Fanboys comic book theater, Watchmen.
Comic book theater, 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 comic book theater.
Ladies and gentlemen, once every while, once every generation, dare I say once every lifetime, a piece of art comes along that changes the lives, not just of those who participate, not just to those who experience the art, but even to those who never experience the art. Truly earth-changing and earth-shattering works of art. What we are about to present to you is not one of them. I'm Phillips. With me is Nick Duke. We are the Hard-Traveling Fanboys, and we are presenting to you our attempt at, masterpiece theater. And in this case, it is comic book theater. We've reached out across the Place to Be Nation. We've joined hands and other body parts with other members of the nation, and we have brought together our interpretation of what we consider to be perhaps the greatest graphic novel ever created in the medium of comic books. Alan Moore and Dave Gibbons' Watchmen. Nicholas, tell the distinguished listeners a little bit about our project.
Yeah, as Greg said, our project was to present to you for the first time ever in audio form an audio adaptation of Alan Moore and Dave Gibbons. So what you're going to hear over the course of this podcast is a reenactment of the first 3 issues of that work. We didn't want to hit you with the full 12 issues. We figured that would be something that would be incredibly long. But if the response is there and the demand is there after hearing this, we will come back with future installments. As Greg said, we reached out to all sorts of luminaries and personalities from across the Place to Be Nation. And I think you'll hear a few familiar voices along the way. And maybe even a few celebrity appearances.
Ooh, that is titillating, Nick. Positively titillating. But when it comes to being titillating, that's what you come to the Hard-Traveling Fanboys for. So let me offer the prerequisite warnings ahead of time. This is a show intended only for immature audiences. And by that I mean immature individuals above the age of 18. There will be some language. There will be some discussions had that are uncomfortable in nature. You may lose all in any respect that you had for any of the individuals involved in this. These are warnings we're getting out the door because we hope that you enjoy what you're about to hear. And without any further ado, we present to you Place to Be Nation Pop Comic Book Theater.
Chapter 1. At midnight, all the agents.
Rorschach's Journal, October 12, 1985. Dog carcass in alley this morning. Tire tread on Burr's stomach, quite frankly. He said he's afraid of me. I've seen its true face. It ain't like Watts, I can tell you that. Well, Cowboy had a theory about this, and he said the streets are extended gutters, and the gutters are full of blood, and when the drains finally scab over, all the vermin will drown, quite frankly. Then again, that's just what Watts' take was. Now, you may not disagree, but I think Cowboy drew a little bit of money. It's 1985, for God's sake. Ain't no territory hotter than Mid-South Wrestling, I can tell you that right now. The accumulated filth of all their sex and murder will foam up about their waists. Then again, maybe it won't. Now, folks, let me ask you a question about this foam. What does that mean exactly? Are you suggesting that it's going to rise up? Are you suggesting that it's going to reach a certain level and not ascend beyond that? Quite frankly, I don't like the idea, and this is just me talking, of limiting the amount of sex and murder that can accumulate in one situation. Maybe your idea of the right amount of sex and murder is different than my idea, quite frankly, of the amount of sex and murder in this industry. Now, you might find yourself in a unique situation where maybe your sex and murder level is higher than mine, and that's fine. That's all right, quite frankly. But what it doesn't change is the fact, and this is something we can all agree on, that all of the whores and politicians will look up and they'll shout, "Save us, JR," and I'll look down and I'll whisper, "Ma." They had a choice, all of them. They could have followed in the footsteps of men who had characteristics not unlike those of someone who could be considered a character babyface. Men like my father, or President Truman, or Stone Cold Steve Austin for that matter. Decent men. Fair. Okay men. Might have knew a little bit of what they were talking about, who believed in a day's work for a day's pay for God's sake. Instead, they follow the droppings of lechers and communists and didn't realize that the trail led over a precipice until it was too late. Don't tell me they didn't have a choice. Now the whole world stands on the brink, staring down into bloody hell, all those liberals and intellectuals and smooth talkers, internet wrestling pundits, and all of a sudden, nobody can think of a damn thing to say. And now we pan up from the streets and into the disheveled apartment that once belonged to the comedian as two detectives look out broken window of said comedian.
Baby, that's quite a drop, I said.
Jawohl, poor guy. You know, I always wonder, do you think you black out before you hit the sidewalk or what?
Frankly, I don't know what to know about, baby. What do you think happened here?
It looks like someone broke in by busting his door down. That's what the guys are, two guys or one guy on serious drugs. Because the door had a chain fastened on the inside, which means that the occupant was home when it happened.
Let me tell you, Tony, I saw a body. He looked beefy enough to protect himself. Beefy, I said, Tony. For a guy his age, he was in terrific shape.
What, you mean apart from being dead?
No, I mean this guy, the Blake guy, the occupant. He had muscles like a weightlifter, baby. And then he took my job. My job was a weightlifter. My sons came over and said he would put us some kind of fight, baby. I'm certain of it.
Well, looks like he lost. Maybe it was a couple of guys and they overpowered him.
Maybe he was just a walk behind her, like Arn Anderson. The data we have suggests he's been doing some kind of overseas diplomatic work for years, baby.
Oh, lot of classy expense account living. The good stuff. Maybe he just got soft.
You look too soft in this photograph, baby. Wonder how he got that scar. It looks like, hey, is he shaking hands in the picture? Is that Vice President Gerald Ford?
Yeah, and the Chancellor. Well, listen, between you and me, I think we can rule him out as a suspect. A job like this just is not his style.
Let me take you on a little soliloquy here, baby. Talk about Starrcade, Hulk Hogan versus Sting. We're going to step away for a minute, talk about my business. That'd be real funny if we had any better leads to go on, baby. I mean, what is this? A little money got stolen? But now there's no way this is a straight burglary, baby. Somebody had it really in for this guy. I mean, how did he go out of the pay window like that?
Maybe he tripped against it.
Forget it, baby. That's a strong glass. You trip against that, even a big glide like Dusty Rhodes won't break. I think he had to have been thrown out that window.
Well, if this Edward Blake was as big as you say he was, then one guy would never lift him. So we are talking two assailants here.
What floor, sirs?
Funky like a monkey, baby. Let's go to the ground floor, please.
Ground floor coming up, sirs.
Gotta find my sweet Sapphire. Have you seen her anywhere around here? You're not answering my questions, babe. And how about you, Tony? You haven't answered my question either. Is this a burglary, or we look for some kind of other motive?
Listen. It could have just been a burglary. Maybe a bunch of knot tops on KT-28s or lewds. You know how it is. A lot of crazy things happen in a city this size. They don't all need motives.
So, baby, what you're saying is...
I am saying let's not raise too much dust over this one.
Dust?
We don't need any masked Avengers getting interested in cutting in. Follow it up discreetly, sure, but in public? Well, let's say we let this one drop out of sight.
I don't know, baby. I think you take this vigilante stuff too seriously. It's been hard times up in here since the Keene Act was passed in 1977 when I won my first NWA World Heavyweight Championship belt from Ric Flair. Check it out. Only the government-sponsored weirdos are active. They don't interfere in here.
Screw them! What about Rorschach? Rorschach never retired, even after him and his buddies fell out of grace. Rorschach is still out there somewhere. He's crazier than a snake's armpit and wanted on 2 counts murder one. We got a cozy little homicide here. If he gets involved, we'll be up to our verschnookeners and corpses. What's the matter?
Oh, nothing, baby. Just a little shiver, like a big bowl of jelly. Must be getting a little chilly in here. Grab my cardigan, will ya?
And with that, we pan back to the streets, the busy city streets of New York, and we see, for the first time, Rorschach looking down and finding a blood-stained button. He glances up towards the crime scene in the apartment and fires a grappling hook towards the apartment. The grappling hook takes hold on the ledge, and Rorschach swings up and over the precipice and begins to search the scene. Rorschach heads towards the comedian's closet. He's searching the closet, and he sees at the top a tiny button. He presses the button, and a door swings open, revealing a secret compartment with the comedian's crime-fighting attire inside.
Oh, her. And now, let us transition into the apartment of Hollis Mason, an old man. It's a very old man-like apartment. And now let's listen in on the conversation as Hollis talks to his old protege, Dan Dryberg.
There I was, and I was at the store with the food, the market, they buy the food in the market, and I was buying dog food for old Toots Mont over here, and I turn the corner of the aisle, and I see, wham, I bump into the screaming skull. You remember you remember the screaming skull?
Yeah, I think I heard you talk about the old fuck once or twice. Plus, I read about him in PWI, which I get complimentary, by the way.
Hey, Stu Sachs is a fucking son of a bitch. Anyway, I read the screaming skull. His real name is Reg. And Reg makes me so mad. I tell him, you want to try me, Reg, you wanted to try me. Oh, you had to use try me. And then I take him and I stretch him and I take his egg and I stretch him. Anyway, he reformed and he turned to that the Jew guy who got nailed to the cross. Yeah, he married. He had 2 kids and he traded addresses. He has children. Yeah, I have 12 children. I had many more. He's a nice guy. Yeah.
Yeah, well, listen, that's all fucking fascinating and whatnot, but my ass has got to go. I got to work in about 2 hours, and I got to swing by the Walgreens to pick up 200 8x10s and a 2-pack of Sharpies, one for signing and one for stuffing so far up my goddamn nostril I might have gray matter at the end of the night.
Yeah, speaking of nostrils, my daughter Diana has nice nostrils. My son Owen, and the son had a stroke in the Tiger Bell, and sometimes I like to put it in the Tiger Bell, and Tiger Bell puts it in me, in the Sharpie, and anyway, sorry to bore you with all this old stuff. You must have been bored as hell. I can stretch you. You want to come to stretch it?
Now, I'm going to skip the stretching, but these Saturday night beer sessions are what keep me going. But speaking of the beer, how many times am I going to tell your old ass I prefer a Dirty 30 and Natty Light? What the fuck is this silver bullet horse shit you keep pouring me?
Listen, Drybird, you want to try me? If you wanted to try me, all you had to do is try me. I put the beer so far up your ass, you fucking drink it for the rest of your life. Yeah, there's old guys like us, so you gotta stick together. Let me put this out, and I'll be right with you. You know, it's a crying shame Vince killed the business in 1984, you know, and you youngsters got put out the grass in 77. Yeah, you were a gayer night hour than I ever was.
Yeah, that might be fucking true. After all, I worked on top everywhere I fucking went. Worked on top for Watts. Worked on top for McMahon. Worked on top for Jarrett. Worked on top in Continental. But the rest of them motherfuckers back in the day, they were much better than this generation. You know, my generation, they do all of the flips and none of the selling. I read about those motherfuckers in the Observer, obsessed with their fucking star ratings, and the Tokyo Dome, and the fucking Meltzer. But yeah, it's a bunch of bullshit these days. But thank you for the fucking compliment. I appreciate it. More people should be kissing my ass appropriate.
Yeah, you watched the language, you son of a bitch. This is the left hook that took out that Kraut Captain Axis, you remember?
Oh, how can I fucking forget? Hollis, thanks for another great fucking night. No Somas, no Four Locos, no Coke, no fucking horse shit. I'm gonna hit the fucking road. Take care of your old ass.
You know, Tom McGee was a tall son of a bitch, eh? He makes me think of a greased-up man that really gets you going. Yeah? Danny, you put a little grease on you, and we'll stretch you, and Tiger better watch.
And after departing Hollis Mason's humble abode, we see Daniel Dryberg walking down the street, returning home. He arrives at his modest townhome. He notices the door is ajar, and he enters his home and his kitchen to find something of a unique situation.
Short. Lip. Hello, Daniel. Got hungry waiting. Help myself to some beans. Hope you don't mind.
Rorschach, what the fuck are you doing here? Ain't seen your ass in a goddamn minute. Look at those beans, man. You want me to put those damn things under a hood to heat them up for you? Send them down to Watts for a little bit?
Ain't no need for that. They're fine like this, quite frankly.
Well, I ain't seen you in a goddamn minute. How the hell you been? Been making the towns?
Well, thus far in my journey, I have been keeping out of prison, at least to this point, quite frankly. Now, take a look, if you would, at this. Now, what is this? Now, that's not for me to say. That's not for you to say. This is a term that I am using right now to just describe the situation. Just look at it, for God's sake.
What the fuck is this horse shit? What's this little stain here? A little bit of bean juice?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, bean juice. That's right, yeah. Human bean juice, quite frankly. Ha ha. Badge belonged to the comedian. Blood Tew. And he's dead.
Dad, what the fuck are you talking about? The goddamn comedian? Me and him just worked a main event down in Memphis last week.
Listen, I investigated a routine homicide victim named Edward Blake. Name ring any bells, quite frankly? Oh, yeah. Found a costume in Blake's wardrobe. Seems he was known as the comedian. You know who else was known as a comedian? Owen Hart. He would play pranks like you would not believe, quite frankly. He did. I remember one time he took a shit so big, it was sticking out of the toilet, for God's sake. And Owen came in there and said, he said, hey, take a look at that. Look what I did. And I said, oh, that's disgusting. Anyway, he was a comedian too, but this comedian, somebody threw him out a damn window.
Somebody did what now? That don't make a goddamn bit of sense to me, quite frankly. Listen, maybe we can talk about this down at my shop. Got all my gear down there. Feel kind of exposed, probably because I'm not wearing any goddamn pants. Anyway, you can use the rear exit, but I ain't talking about brother love. We'll have to save that for a little bit later on. When you leave, that is. Anyway, right down this way. You know, you hadn't been down here in quite a while.
Well, from the looks of things, neither of you. I see more dust in this area than I have seen in Aunt May's, well, in her nether region, quite frankly.
Well, you know how it goes. Sometimes I come down here and sit around a little bit, think about the times when we were making the towns, doing the drugs, fucking the rats. But it doesn't seem like there's much point since I don't get booked much anymore. It's kind of semi-retired, you know. But anyway, listen, about the comedian. Could it have just been a burglary, a break-in? Maybe somebody was trying to take his 8-ball or something? Maybe the killer didn't know who the fuck he was.
Oh, an ordinary burglar. That's all you got. That's all you can come up with. Look, I've been sitting in your house eating beans for 4 hours now before you even got here, and all you have for me is an ordinary burglar? Kill the comedian? The whole concept's ridiculous, for God's sake. Take a few minutes and think logically about the situation.
Yeah, I guess you got a fucking point there. I'd heard he'd been down in South America working since 77, working for Pedro, knocking over Marxist republics. Could this have been a political killing?
Well, maybe. Quite frankly, it could be. Or maybe someone's picking off costumed heroes. Or maybe someone's not picking off costumed heroes. Or maybe they're doing both. Maybe they're picking off costumed heroes and not costumed heroes. Or maybe none of this has even happened. Who are we to say?
Now, don't you think that's a little bit paranoid? You sound a little bit like Savage back in 88, or Savage in 98, or Savage in 08, or Savage in any era, really.
Oh, that's what they're saying about me now, huh? I can hear him right now. They're saying that I'm paranoid. I can hear him right now tweeting me at Rorschach's BBQ, saying, "Oh, Rorschach, he's paranoid. Rorschach, he doesn't know what's going on. He thinks everybody's out to get him." Listen, that is a bunch of malarkey that has been spread by the dirt sheets, by internet experts in 1985, sitting in their little gigantic computers in their universities or their colleges, and they're typing in their DOS format, and they're trying to say, "Oh, Rorschach don't know what he's talking about. Rorschach's a paranoid little bastard." Well, you know what? I was active for 30 years. The comedian was active for 40 years, for God's sake. He made a lot of enemies in that time. Men make enemies, quite frankly. There are protagonists and there are antagonists. And quite frankly, some would consider him, the comedian, to have been a character heel. Now, speaking of people that might have been enemies of him, how's your old buddy Hollis Mason these days, huh?
Hollis, what the hell does that old fuck have to do with anything?
Well, I'm not saying that he had anything to do with it. You're putting words in my mouth right now, quite frankly. Just like Wade Keller and Meltzer and all those guys. I like those guys. They're good guys. They work hard, but sometimes they make assumptions. All I'm saying is that they were both Minutemen. When Blake was 16 and Mason was the first night owl, that book Mason wrote, he said some damn bad things about the comedian in it. Said some things that might have been somewhat attitudinal in nature.
Now listen here, motherfucker. I don't like what you're implying. Hollis is a motherfucking legend. He's a legend in this goddamn business. You're lucky there's even a business for you to fucking work in thanks to men like Hollis goddamn Mason. If you're thinking about going over there and fucking with him...
I'm not implying anything. I'm not implying a thing. It is just an observation. It is just one man's opinion from under the black resistol hat. Well, anyway, I just thought you might like to know what's been on my mind. In case somebody's gunning for masks, which, speaking of masks, highspots.com sells a lot of great masks for any wrestling fan out there that would like to purchase a mask. And that reminds me of a good old Casper mattress for that matter. If you're going to try to get a good night's sleep, Daniel, there's nothing quite like a Casper mattress. Anyway, better go now. I got things to do.
Yeah, well, fuck all that. As you know, the tunnel will bring you out in a warehouse about 2 blocks up.
Oh, yeah, I remember. Thank you very much. Used to come here often, back when we were partners.
Oh, yeah, partners. I remember those times. Those were great times, Rorschach. Whatever the hell happened to them?
You quit, you son of a bitch. Rorschach's Journal, October 13th, 1985. Watched a Mid-South wrestling taping today. Thought it went pretty fair. Thought it went decent. Anyway, slept all day. Awakened at 4:37. A landlady complaining about the smell. She has 5 children by 5 different fathers. I am sure that she cheats on welfare. Well, anyway, soon it'll be dark. Beneath me, this awful city. It screams... I don't know how to explain this, folks, but the city, when I look down on it... Now, don't tweet me. Don't tweet me about this, quite frankly. Don't get on the internet and say your nasty things behind the mask of anonymity. You come up here, but I'm just saying, this city... It screams like an abattoir full of retarded children. Now, that might be a little harsh for some people, but that is just the way that I feel at this moment. On Friday night, a comedian died in New York. Somebody out there knows why. Down there? Down where, you ask? You know where. Somebody knows. The dusk reeks of fornication and bad consciences. Kind of like Charles Wright's dressing room in 2000. And Wonder who signed that guy, by the way. Must have been pretty decent. Judge of talent there. I believe I shall take my exercise.
Russia! How you doing, Lieutenant?
Oh, I'm fine, Happy Harry. How about yourself?
Fine. I'm fine. Sure good. I'm fine. I'm glad you put you. Oh, this is Peter. I love Nirvana. And don't put my dad. I love my dad. Don't put me. Don't kill nobody.
Here's what's been on my mind. Guy went sidewalk diving Friday night. Now, I don't think he was alone when it happened. He went to a time limit draw with the sidewalk. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with some of the old school kind of philosophies when it comes to killing a man. Now, the name was Edward Blake. And he was a friend of mine, like Steve Austin's a friend of mine.
Boy, you hear that? He's got friends. Must have changed his deodorant.
Aw, Steve, for God's sakes, man, just shut up. I gotta take a leak during this podcast.
Boy, I didn't mean anything. I haven't been in the apple too long, and hey, what?
I have just broken this gentleman's little finger. Now, who killed Edward Blake, for God's sake?
Oh!
Rorschach, you can't do this, Rorschach. That's not okay.
And his index finger. Who killed Edward, for God's sake, by God, Blake?
Damn it, Rorschach.
Please, we don't know. Oh God, man, leave him alone.
Oh. First visit of the evening, fruitless. Nobody knew a damn thing. I feel slightly depressed. This city is dying of rabies. Is the best that I can do to wipe random flecks of foam from its ass? Never despair. Never surrender, folks. Maximize life's minutes. As for me, as for good old Rorschach, I'll just leave the human cockroaches to discuss their heroin and their child pornography. I have business elsewhere with a better class of person, a more Austin-like class of person.
And now we transition from that bar scene, that violent scene inside the bar where Rorschach has just broken a man's hand, to a much different scene, a plush office atop a tall tower, as Rorschach visits a familiar figure.
Le comédien dead. Pourquoi?
Your ass is the one that's supposed to be the world's smartest man, Vite. You are the one that are on the internet dirt sheet saying you have all the answers to everything, so you tell me.
C'est quoi? I never claimed to be anybody special, Rorschach. I just have some over enthusiastic PR man, public relation. Listen, could it have been a political killing? Maybe Putin, the Soviets, Vietnam, anyone? Mila Jovovich?
Well, quite frankly, Dryberg said same thing. Don't believe it. America has Dr. Manhattan. Reds have been running scared since '65. The last time they ran scared like that was when Cowboy Bill Watts beat Nikolai Volkov in 1 minute and 15 seconds in Madison Square Garden, the world's most famous arena. And again, maybe that didn't happen. I don't know. It's not for me to say. They'd never dare antagonize us is what I'm trying to say here. My opinion, just me now, with one man talking from under the black resistol hat, quite frankly, I think that we have got ourselves a mass killer.
First of all, at the Garden, best match ever. Andre the Giant, Ultimate Warrior. Not necessarily. Comedian had lots of political enemies. He was a Nazi practically. Even
even he had Civil War flag. He had how you say he drove Ford truck.
Now, quite frankly, Ozymandias, if I had to venture a guess, I would say that, quite frankly, I'm not quite sure what the hell country you're from. But one thing I do know is that he stood up for his country, right? He never let anybody retire his ass. Never cashed in on his reputation. Never affected different accents at a different time. He never set up a company selling posters and diet books and JR's barbecue cookbooks and toy soldiers based on himself. He never became a prostitute. If that makes him a Nazi, you might as well call me a Nazi too, goddammit.
Rorschach, I apologize. I'm a bit excited. I have had very, very, very much wine. I know we were never come amis, but even so, you are being very, very unjust. No one put me out to the pasture. No one retired me. I chose to quit doing, how you say? Oh yes, putting on the costume and being the world's smartest man. I went public. I came out to the public. I tell the people who I am. I am Ozymandias. I am Adrian Veidt. 2 years before the police made the keen act necessary or necessary.
Yeah, that's good timing there, quite frankly. What you're trying to say, I think, if I understand you correctly, is that you did not retire per se. You went to a time limit draw with life. Now, I came here to warn your ass about the mass killer. You didn't end up the smartest man in the morgue, but I guess there's worse things to end up as. I'll be seeing you around, or will I?
Oh, you will be seeing me around, my friend. I will be everywhere, on the posters, on the billboards, for I am the most famous actor in all of the France. Ozymandias, Adrian Veidt, depending on who you ask. And I say to you, good day, sir. Arrivederci, mon ami. And go fuck yourself.
And as we transition away from Rorschach's meeting with Adrian Veidt, or Vett, depending on your pronunciation, we see Rorschach has now moved to outside a secret military facility.
Oh, Rorschach's Journal, October 13th, 1985, 8:30 p.m. Meeting with Veidt left bad taste in mouth. He is pampered and decadent, betraying even his own shallow, liberal affectations, which some might say could provide an impediment to him one day becoming what could be called something not unlike someone resembling someone who could later become a character babyface. Possibly homosexual? Must remember to investigate further, quite frankly. But Dryberg's just as bad. A flabby failure who sits whimpering in his basement. Why are so few of us left active, healthy, and without personality disorders? The First Night Owl runs an auto repair shop. First Silk Spectre is a bloated, aging whore dying in a Californian rest resort not unlike Attitude Era diva Ivory. The First Silk Spectre is still a bloated, aging whore who is dying in a Californian rest resort, for God's sake. Captain Metropolis was decapitated in a car crash back in '74. Ironically, the same year I started in the business working for Watts. That's another story for another time, folks. Mothman's in an asylum up in Maine. The Silhouette retired in disgrace, murdered 6 weeks later by minor adversaries seeking revenge. Dollar Bill got shot. Hooded Justice went missing in '55. The comedian is dead, for God's sake. Only 2 names are remaining on my list. Both of them share private quarters at Rockefeller Military Research Center. I shall go to them. Unfortunately, both Dr. Death and Austin are unavailable, so I'll find 2 others. I shall go and tell the indestructible man that someone plans to murder his ass.
Oh, hey, Rorschach.
I set out some wheat thins and some Oreos just in this case. I wasn't expecting guests, but as you can see, I'm well prepared. And do excuse me for being so big. It helps me get those hard-to-reach places in my experiments.
Quite frankly, you said the magic word with wheat thins. If there's one snack item I like, it is a wheat thin. I like to eat wheat thins when I'm laying on my Casper mattress. Casper mattresses, the most comfortable mattresses in the world. Good evening, Dr. Manhattan. How you doing?
What the fuck are you doing here, Warshak? This is a government base, and I hear you're wanted by the police.
Oh, good evening, Miss Jupiter.
That's just Bezic. Jupiter was just a name my mother assumed because she didn't want anyone to know she was Polish. You haven't answered my question.
My bad. That's what the kids say these days. I hear on Twitter all the time. My bad. I came to warn you both and bring bad news. The comedian is broken in half.
Yeah, I heard that he was dead. CIA told me about that the other day. See, I was just relaxing in the tub, and they came in. They said, "Oh, my God, I'm sorry. We didn't mean to interrupt." But that's okay. I don't mind people coming in and seeing me. I don't need clothes. But, yeah, I knew that he was gone. They said it might have been the Libyans.
Oh, see, well, I've got my own theories on that, and quite frankly, everybody does. Maybe it's the Libyans. Maybe it's not the Libyans. Here's just my take, my opinion. I have my own theories on that, but what I'm trying to get at here, quite frankly, is not for me to say. But from the sounds of it, you are not too concerned about Blake's death. I mean, what the hell?
I examined Blake's body a number of times. I counted all his particles up and down, from the tip of his little head to down to the little bitty toe. And structurally, it's all still the same. He looks the same to me now as he did then. He's all very pretty. He's a very in-shape man. And I'm not very concerned about life and death. They're all the same, and the functions remain the same whether they want to or not.
Mom.
Anyway, it couldn't have happened to a nicer person. Blake was a bastard. He was a monster. You know he tried to rape my mother back when they were both Minutemen?
Oh, so you support the allegations made in Hollis Mason's book concerning Blake?
What Mason said and under the hood is what happened. God knows I'm not my mother's biggest admirer, but some things shouldn't happen to anybody. Why do you think Blake never sued Mason?
Oh, crunch. I'm not here to speculate on the moral lapses of men who died in their country's service. Men like Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Men like the Patriot. I came here to warn.
Moral lapses? Rape is a moral lapse? You know he broke her ribs. You know he almost choked her. John, get this fucking creep out of here.
Oh, no, you seem to be upsetting Laurie. I'm sorry, Rorschach, but we'd like to keep a calm space here, so can everybody just kind of take a breath and relax?
Well, with all due respect, Dr. Manhattan, that's your opinion. My opinion is I warned Veidt and Dryberg, and I intend to warn your ass and your lady friend here. I believe someone is eliminating masked adventurers, possibly, maybe, potentially, some old foe with a grudge. Let's let it play out and see how it develops, see what comes of it, folks, because I believe...
Well, I'm sorry, Rorschach, but you've just completely destroyed the calm in the room, so I'm going to have to make you go away now. Bye.
Spent a lot of time getting in to see your ass. I ain't leaving before I've...
And with a blue flash of light, Rorschach is mysteriously teleported from inside the facility to outside in the parking lot in the pouring rain.
And again, that's just my opinion, but what I'm trying to get at here is, had my say. Oh, Mom.
Well, he's gone, Laurie. Are you still feeling upset?
Yeah, I just don't like Rorschach. He's fucking sick. Sick inside his mind. I don't like the way he smells or that horrible monotone fucking voice or anything. The sooner the police put him away, the better, quite frankly. John?
Oh, I'm sorry. I kind of tuned you out there for a minute. What were you saying?
I was just thinking that I must be really edgy to let a maggot like Rorschach get to me like that. I just feel cooped up sometimes. Maybe I could use a night out. You know, Warshak mentioned Dan Dryberg. We haven't seen Dan in years.
Uh-huh.
Maybe I'll call him up, ask him
Right.
out to dinner. If you don't mind, that is.
Oh, no, go right ahead. He should be having a good time tonight. I'd join you, but I think I'm really close to locating a Gluino, and that would completely validate supersymmetrical theory if we could include it in the bestiary. I mean, they're so cute and cuddly, and we just want to make sure that everybody sees them, gives them all their due credit, because they work real hard, and we want to make sure that everybody knows just how important the Gluino is.
That's fascinating. I'll call Dan. Hello, Dan. Lori. Lori Jaspisic? I'm fine. How are you? Great. Listen, I just remembered I haven't seen you in ages, and I wondered if we could have dinner sometime. Well, how about tonight? Raphael's at 9:30? That's terrific. John? Oh, yeah. John's in pretty good shape. See you later, Dan. Bye.
Rorschach's Journal, October 13th, 1985, 11:30 p.m., exactly 5 minutes after Saturday night's main event from the New York territory, which I thought was just decent. Not great, just decent. On Friday night, a comedian died in New York. Someone threw him out of a window, and when he hit the sidewalk, his ass was broken in half. For God's sake, why didn't somebody stop the damn match? His head was driven up into his stomach, and nobody cares? Where the hell are the officials? Where is the security? Why won't somebody get in there and save him from himself? Nobody cares but me. However, are they right? Or is it futile? Soon there will be war. Well, millions are going to burn. Billions will perish in sickness and misery. Why does one death matter against so many? That's what I'm trying to get at here, folks. So the answer to that is simple. People may talk about blurred lines and shades of gray and whatever, but at the end of the day, there are baby faces and there are heels. Because there is good and there is evil, and evil must be punished, quite frankly. My boy. Even in the face of Armageddon, I shall not compromise in this. But there are so many deserving of retribution. Triple H, Kane, many others over the years have tried to screw Austin, and there's so little time. We switch to a new setting, a new locale, if you will. It is the restaurant known as Raphael's, where inside Dan Dryberg and Lori Jupiter are having a meal together.
Well, I guess it's getting pretty fucking late. Been a hell of an evening, Laurie. You sure you won't let me pick up the tab for the Four Locos and Beanie Weenies?
Nah, if I'm gonna be a kept woman for the military's secret weapon, then the military can stand me a bowl of fucking spaghetti every once in a while.
You sound pretty fucking bitter like that asshole Jim Ross. What the hell's going on?
No, not really. It's just that the only reason I'm kept around is to keep John relaxed and happy.
Everything okay with you and John?
Me and John? Oh, yeah. Yeah, everything's fine. Couldn't be better. It's just I keep thinking, I'm 35. What have I done? I've spent 8 years in semi-retirement, preceded by 10 years running around in a stupid costume because my stupid mother wanted me to. You remember that costume? With that stupid little short skirt and the neckline going down to my navel? God, that was dreadful.
Yeah, just fucking dreadful. Fucking awful. Terrible.
You know, when I think back, why did we do it? Why did we dress up like that? The Keen Act was the best thing that ever happened to us.
Yeah, you might have a fucking point.
Hey, you remember that guy? The one who pretended to be a supervillain so he could get beaten up?
Oh, you mean fucking Captain Carnage. Hell of a bad gimmick. He was one for the books.
You're telling me. I remember I caught him coming out of this jeweler's. I didn't know what his racket was. I started hitting him, and I think, geez, he's breathing funny. Does he have asthma?
He tried that with me, only I'd heard about him, so I just walked the fuck away. He follows me down the street, broad daylight, right? He's saying, punish me. I'm saying, no, get lost. Go buy some fucking gas station dick pills.
Whatever happened to him?
Well, he kicked out of Rorschach's fucking finish, and Rorschach dropped his ass down an elevator shaft.
Oh, God. I'm sorry. That isn't funny.
No, I guess it's not.
Geez, that felt good. There doesn't seem to be so many laughs around these days.
Well, what do you fucking expect? Comedian's dead.
And with that, we're going to bring an end to Chapter 1 of our production of Watchmen. When we come back,
what a unique production it has been to this point.
Certainly so. We are, as you can tell, currently urinating and defecating on the greatest comic book of all time. So when we come back from the break, we're going to get into Chapter 2, where even more unique situations will arise. Please forgive us.
The film version of League of Extraordinary Gentlemen ain't got shit on this.
We hope that you will forgive us and not send us any bombs in the mail. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Hey, pro wrestling announcer Kevin Kelly here. I want to make sure you are all subscribed to all the great feeds here at Place to Be Nation. It's really easy to do. Just head to iTunes or your preferred podcatcher app today and search and subscribe to the Place to Be Nation wrestling feed, which of course includes the full archives of the Kevin Kelly Show, the Place to Be Nation pod feed, and the Pro Wrestling Only feed. Subscribe, listen, and then rate us and leave feedback today. And be sure to give Justin your true thoughts. I mean, don't hold back. After all, he is kind of a jerk. Just listen to Scott.
Place to Be Nation's JT Rosero and Chad Campbell here. We want to let you know that we have a ton of great podcasts available to you on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and PlaceToBeNation.com, and we offer those to you on 3 great feeds. On the Place to Be Nation wrestling feed, we bring you the Mothership, the original Place to Be podcast, as well as Main Event, Lucha Afterground, and our monthly pay-per-view reaction shows, as well as the Our Vantage Point podcast and Jeff Learns Wrestling. In addition to these full-length shows, we also deliver quick-hit pod blasts on topics old and new.
Over on the Pro Wrestling Only feed, we dive deep inside the wrestling business with a stacked army of experts leading the way. The feed features potpourri shows such as This Week in Wrestling, Greetings from Allentown, Psychology is Dead, Puro Potpourri, Stacy and Elliot's Bogus Journey, and the Military Industrial Suplex. We also have shows that focus intently on certain topics like Letters from Center Stage, Space City, and NWA Classics On Demand Adventure, Through the Years, Strong Style History, Strong Style Story, and Mount Olympus. Plus, the feed has the full archives of legendary shows like Titans of Wrestling, Where the Big Boys Play, Letters from Kayfabe, and much more. And on our popular Place to Be Nation Pop podcast feed, we offer such great shows as the Glenn Butler Podcast Hour Spectacular, Rank and File, PTBN Dadcast, Go Home in a Box, NBA Team, and Lucha Undead, as well as a veritable podcast heaven for comics fans with the Hard-Traveling Fanboys, Sellers Points, Todd Weber's Conversation, Geek and Sassy, and Imaginary Stories podcasts.
You can find all of these current shows plus archives of our past podcasts, including The Kevin Kelly Show, as well by subscribing to all of our feeds on iTunes, and while there, be sure to rate and leave feedback as well. All of these shows, plus others, available on PlaceToBeNation.com, where we cover pro wrestling, sports, movies, comics, plus in-depth stretch projects and more. Be sure to support our site by using PlaceToBeNation.com/Amazon when shopping online, and download our free PTB Vintage Vault Refresh ebooks via the links on our site. We also want to thank our friends at Bonehead's Wing Bar in West Warwick, Rhode Island, and Fall River, Massachusetts, TheHistoryOfWrestling.com, and Scott Keats' Blog of Doom. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr as well. PlaceToBeNation.com, the only place to be in your pop culture world.
Chapter 2, Absent Friends.
As we get started in Chapter 2, we start at the bedside of Sally Jupiter as her daughter Laurie comes to visit her, bringing flowers.
Ah, will you look at her? Pretty as a picture and still keeping her figure. So, honey, what brings you to the city of the dead?
Mom, being lazy isn't a terminal condition, so spare me the city of the dead crap. Brought you some flowers.
Ooh, big spender. So, where's John?
John's at some funeral. I didn't feel like attending, so he transported me here to California. I just got through throwing up in the ladies' room. Always gets me the same. 1 second New York, the next wham, California. So long breakfast.
Poor baby. So, this funeral. Anyone I know?
The funeral? No. That's just, some little official thing. John had to go. It's protocol. They made him put on clothes and everything.
It's Eddie Blake's funeral, right?
Mom.
Laurie, don't treat me like I'm a kid. I can still read. I saw it in the paper. He got murdered. I guess he finally reached the punchline, huh? Poor Eddie.
Poor Eddie? Mom, how can you say that after he almost...
Laurie, you're young, and you don't know. Things change. What happened? Well, it happened 40 years ago. It's fucking history.
Yeah, well, so's that, Chow. I'll never forgive someone who did that.
Listen, getting old, you get a different perspective, and the big stuff sort of looks smaller somehow, and in the end, you just wash your hands of it and you just kind of shut it all away.
Oh, right. Just like that.
So what? You want me to just curl up and whimper for 40 years? What, go be a fucking nun? Life goes on, honey. I mean, life goes on. Plus, it's a beautiful day. You and John ought to move out here for the weather. Was it this sunny in New York today?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's good. Lots of sunshine is like vitamins. It's healthy, and being healthy is what counts. Never mind all this smart New York living. I mean, without your health, where are you? At my age, you want to take care of yourself, and all your old buddies have passed on, and...
Mom, it's okay. You don't need to open any more doors or windows. Look, I'm putting it out, okay? It's dead. Extinguished.
That makes just 3 of us Minutemen left now. Me, Hollis Mason, and poor Brian Lewis in the bug house in Maine. Funny, Eddie was the youngest, always joking about how old we all were. He said he'd bury us. You see, that was Eddie. Always talking like he was on top, like he was never gonna happen to him. He was a comedian. He always thought he'd get the last laugh.
Yeah? Well, John told me about some of that stuff Blake did in NAMM. Seems like he had a strange sense of humor.
Oh, speaking of which, that reminds me. You remember that guy who writes me letters? Well, he sent me an item of memorabilia.
The one who asked for your old costume? Honestly, Mom, you encourage these guys. What is it?
It's a Tijuana Bible. It's like this little 8-page porno comic that they did in the 30s and 40s. They did them about newspaper funny characters like Blondie, even real people like Mae West. And this one, oh my God, you won't fucking believe it. This one is about me.
About you? Oh, God. Mother, this is just gross. Somebody sent this to you.
Sure. Listen, those are valuable like antiques. So, like $80 and up? I think it's kind of flattering.
Flattering?
Being reminded that people used to slobber all over me? Oh, sure, that's so flattering. I mean, why not? Laurie, I'm 65, and every day looks a little bit darker, but the past, even the grimy, icky, like fucking dirty, let's not talk about it parts, maybe it happened behind the food line, I don't know. Well, it just keeps on getting brighter all the time.
And now let us go back to a different time, a simpler time, a time long ago.
Okay, that's it. That's a nice picture of you characters.
We can move? I can finally scratch my nutsack?
Oh, fuck. I got spots in my eyes.
Really? Let me take a look and see if I can fish them out for you.
Oh, Eddie, give me a break.
Okay, Mr. Owlman, that's 8 prints. They'll be ready in about a week.
Oh, boy. Real photo sessions. Do you think my hair will come out looking, like, okay? Like, perfect and everything?
I don't get it. Why don't they just call him Girl George? Frankly, Sally, I don't go in for all this razzle-dazzle. I'd rather be on the streets doing my job.
Streets nothing. Why don't Uncle Sammy get us into Europe where the action is?
Well, firstly, we aren't at war right now. Secondly, I killed Bennett. Third, we should avoid political situations.
Perhaps the Poles thought so too. Won't you agree, Sally?
Well, I'm sure I wouldn't know anything about what Polish people think.
Me, I hope we stay out of it. Just thinking about war, it scares me worse than fighting Lennox or Evander. They broke my back, you see.
Hey, fuckface, watch with the wings.
Hey, I tell you, it's a Discord. You tell you fighting. You're talking about the Polish and back in the war, the Polish, the Polak, and don't like him at all. And this is my brother. Everyone come to meet me in the lobby in the 5 minutes, and we'll go back to the dungeon, and I have a Chinaman make me a beer, and they stress you and make you discipline. You feel the discipline.
Ugh, fine. Whatever. You guys go ahead. I've got to change.
And with that, the Minutemen choose to clear from their meeting hall after having their photograph taken. And as the room clears, we are left alone with only Sally Jupiter, who begins to undress.
Hi.
Eddie, what the hell are you doing? You knew I was changing.
Sure I did. You announced it loud enough. Come on, baby. I know what you need. You're gonna have some reason for wearing an outfit like this, huh?
Eddie, no.
Sure, no. Spelled Y-E.
Spelled no. No.
And with that, Sally lashes out at Eddie to fight off his unwanted advances. He strikes back brutally, eventually crushing her into the ground and beginning to mount her from behind.
Eddie, no, God!
Hey, Sally, what's keeping you? CIA got you pushing too many pencils? The others are all waiting to... You vicious little son of a bitch.
Hey, wait. She wanted me to do it.
And with that, Hooded Justice strikes the comedian about his head and neck area and proceeds to beat the holy fuck out of this guy.
You sick little bastard. I'm going to break your neck, punch my fist through your stomach, and ram it into the goddamn spine. You bastard. You shit. You cunt. You fuck. You little bastard. You shit. You son of a shit. You fucking bastard.
Is this what you like, huh? This will get you hot.
Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, sure. Sure, I'm going. But I got your number, see? One of these days, joke's gonna be on you.
You goddamn son of a bitch, get out! Do it now! Get up! And for God's sake, cover yourself and get to the goddamn chopper!
So we transition from the distant past into present day, back in the retirement villa of one Sally Jupiter, where she's still in the midst of a conversation with her daughter, Laurie.
Mother, this is vile. I just don't know how you can stand being degraded like this. I mean, don't you care how people see you? Mother. I said, doesn't this sleazeball image bother you? Honestly, Mother, you...
Why do you only call me Mother when you're mad? Anyway, about your image. At least I'm not sleeping with that fucking douchebag H-bomb behind the Food Lion every time you guys get a chance.
John is not a fucking H-bomb.
Honey, the only difference is that they didn't have to get the H-bomb laid every once in a while.
Uh-huh. Right. I see. Of course you realize you're being totally unfair.
Yeah. Well, things are tough all over, Cupcake. And it rains on the just and the unjust alike. Except in California.
And now we move to a funeral. The rain is falling down. There's a flag-draped casket, and we see some familiar faces standing around the casket. We see Adrian Veidt, we see Dr. Manhattan, and we see Dan Dryberg, and there is a preacher standing there giving the eulogy.
It's all quite sad, folks. Listen in.
Listen, bros. Man that is born of a woman, bros. He has but like a short time to live, bros. And it's full of miseries. He cometh up and swerve, cut down like a flower. He fleeth, bros, as it were a shadow. It never continues in one state. In the middle of life. Are you kidding me? In the middle of life. We're in death. Talk about a swerve. Of whom we may seek. Bro, of whom we may seek. But of thee, O Lord. Who for our
And now
sins
we
were
transition
justly
once more
displeased.
to another flashback. This time, we go to the inside of a large meeting hall where several unusually attired individuals are gathered around.
Man, well, firstly, let me see. Say, I'm pleased to see. Man, well, firstly, let me see. Say, I'm pleased to see so many of you here. Very pleased. Man. Secondly, for those of you who know me as Captain Metropolis, the name's Gardner Nelson. Call me Nelson. Third, I guess I should welcome everybody to the first ever meeting of the Crime Busters. Why the Crime Busters? Well, as you see, this country hasn't had an organization of masked adventurers since the Minutemen disbanded back in '49. Specialized law enforcement is standing still. Crime isn't. New social evils emerge every day. Promiscuity, drugs, campus subversion, you name it. Now, by banding together as crime busters, we...
Bullshit.
What?
I said bullshit. Excuse me, but this whole idea, this crime busters shtick, it stinks. What is it, Nelly? What is it? You're getting old and you want to go on playing cowboys and Indians?
That isn't true.
Now listen here, fuckers. Let's not throw out the idea of teaming up right away. I'll have you goddamn sons of bitches know that me and Rorschach been working on top as a tag team. Worked with the Midnights. Worked with the Rock and Roll Express. Worked with the fucking Fantastics for the U.S. Straps in the fucking Greensboro Coliseum in front of 8,000. So you motherfuckers may have a little bit of that view that, only singles draw. Oh, but that's a bunch of horseshit if you ask me. We've made a lot of headway into the Z-Gangsters problem by pulling our goddamn efforts.
Well, quite frankly, that is a strong opinion, but obviously I agree, quite frankly. However, on the other hand, some might say that a group this size seems more like a publicity exercise somehow. That's not my opinion, but these other people on Twitter might be tweeting us at Rorschach's BBQ, at Dryberg's BBQ. It's too big and unwieldy, for God's sake.
Mes amis, perhaps that is just a problem with the regional territories? Perhaps with the right managerial advisement. So we could say a Jimmy Hart or a Frenchie Martin, perhaps, in charge of the group. I think.
Oh, and I wonder who that would be. Got any ideas, Ozzy? I mean, you are the smartest guy in the world, right?
Mon ami, it does not require being an award-winning French actor to see that America has problems that need to be tackled.
If I didn't have a liberal from New York in the bathroom, I couldn't wipe my ass. Excuse me. I'm sorry, I will not say that again, but it takes a moron to think they're small enough for clowns like you guys to handle. What's going down in this world, you got no idea, believe me.
Perhaps you are wrong. I think I am as educated and well-informed as anyone. Given correct handling, none of the problems in this world are insurmountable. All it takes is a little bit of French intelligence.
Which you got in spades, right? You people are a joke. You hear Moloch's back in town, you think, oh boy, let's gang up and bust him. You think that matters? You think that solves anything?
Now, if I can cut in for just 1 minute, maybe it's old school of me. Maybe I'm too rooted in the past. Maybe I'm just too married to what I grew up in the business with. But to me, of course it matters. For God's sake, I mean, if...
It doesn't matter squat. Here, let me show you why it doesn't matter.
What are you doing?
It don't matter squat because inside 30 years, the nukes are going to be flying like Maybugs.
My display.
And with that, the comedian sets the map of the United States on fire.
And then Ozzy here is going to be the smartest man on the cinder. Now, pardon me, but I got an appointment. See you in the funny papers.
John, I think I'd like to go home now, please.
Oh, listen here, buddy. This just ain't working out. It's kind of like Barry Windham in WWF. It just ain't going to work.
Don't all leave. Man, somebody has to do it. Don't you see? Somebody has to save the world.
We return from the meeting hall and we come back to the funeral side, and here we start to zoom in a little bit on a certain blue-hued Dr. Manhattan.
That's right, and I believe this sermon is going to touch you as much as it's touched us in our lives.
Oh, Lord, bro, most mighty with the Spaldings. Oh, holy and most merciful frickin' Savior. Are you kidding me? Deliver us not, I said not, into the bitter pains of eternal death, bro. Thou knowest, Lord, the secret of our hearts. You know our secrets. It's like GTV. Shut not thy merciful ears to our prayers, bro, but spare us, Lord, most holy, oh God, most mighty, oh holy and merciful Savior. Oh, thou most worthy judge eternal, bro, God, bro, suffer us not. Are you kidding me? At our last hour? For any pains of death to fall from thee. Take it away, God, come on.
And as the preacher delivers those wonderful words of wisdom, we transition to certainly a unique scene, that of a Vietnamese bar, as Dr. Manhattan and the comedian are celebrating the American victory, each in their own way.
Goddamn fireworks. You'd have thought this country had enough goddamn fireworks.
Well, I do suppose that tonight means something different for them, but I find it kind of pretty, you know. Maybe VVN night stands for Vietnam Very Nice.
No. Average Vietnamese don't give a damn who won. It means something to the dinks, and it means plenty to us. You know what? I will go to hell before I sit here and watch our country and the world turned over to these savages. I'm done. I'm pissed, and I'm not putting up with it anymore. The Satanists want to sacrifice the beautiful goddess that is the West. These people are enemies. We're going to get their asses. You know, we're coming for them. And I've had enough of these people.
That's why I'm fucking sitting here and I'm sweating. I'm getting pissed. If we'd lost this war, I don't know. I think it might have driven us a little crazy, as a country. But thanks to you, we didn't. Right down a hatch.
Some people might say that you sound a little bitter. Maybe you're just a strange man, Blake. But I think that's just your way of dealing with things. And everybody has those strange attitudes every once in a while about life and war.
Strange? Listen, once you figure out what a joke everything is, being the comedians, the only things make sense.
I guess I can kind of see your point with all these charred villages and the boys with necklaces of human ears, but if it were me, I wouldn't have gone for the ears for a necklace. I don't think that's very practical-like. It's not like you can speak into them and they can hear you. But if you really wanted to get a memento from the boys, you could have cut something else off. But I guess I wonder, are this all part of the joke?
I don't quite know where you're going with this analogy. I never said it was a good joke. I'm just playing along with the gag. Ha! Look at that. There he is. First press helicopter into Saigon. Since the ceasefire, he's got the next election in the bag for sure. Me, I'm taking the first chopper out.
Well, why are you so anxious to leave?
Doc, come on. Are you kidding? I hate this place. I hate the temperature. I hate the smell. I hate this rotten, cheap bourbon. First chopper out, man. I am gone. And as for you, your mustache is pretty cool. You used to have little gold-framed glasses. And, I got nothing against mustaches. It's just all the cops these days, they're little homoerotic gang of mustaches is what they are. Don't you understand? This whole thing, it's all about wearing mustaches and acting tough. It's literally a big joke. You understand, Osterman? Again, nothing against you. You've always been a little bit light in the loafers at least.
Well, maybe whenever you get home, you and my father can go down to the gun range and have yourselves a nice little hate fest.
No, Mr. Eddie.
Oh, great. Oh, thank God. That's just what I needed.
No, now war is over. Mr. Eddie, now I must talk with you.
Listen, we got nothing to talk about. I'm leaving Saigon, number 10, New York, number 1, okay?
No! You walk away from this?
Sure.
From me, I cannot walk away from what grows in my belly. No, I cannot forget.
Well, that's unfortunate, because that's just what I'm going to do. Forget you, forget your ruddy little country, all of it.
No, I do not think so. I think you remember me and my country. I think you remember us as long as you live.
Huh? What? My face? Gah! My face! What did you do? You bitch! You hurt my face! You whore! You filthy, stinking, worthless,
Oh no!
lousy piece of...
Blake, wait.
Medic? Gotta find the goddamn... Excuse me. Sorry.
Blake, she was pregnant. You didn't have to gun her down like that. That wasn't very nice. But I suppose you had to do what you had to do.
I came knocking on your door 1,000,000 times, Osterman, and you laughed at me. You've been in love with something else your entire life. And this is a love affair. And so, I'm not going to get in bed with you. You'll excuse me. Because you don't love the spirit of justice. You talk about your father. You love your father. Your father is the devil. You love death more than life. So you go with your father forever. And that's hell. And that's right, pregnant woman. Gun her down. Bang. You know what? You watch me. You could have changed the gun to steam, bullets into mercury, the bottle into snowflakes, just like that fella Proteus in those X-Men comics I'm so fond of that don't actually exist yet. Anyway, you could have teleported either of us to goddamn Australia. You didn't lift a finger. You don't really give a damn about human beings. I've watched you. You never cared about what's-her-name Janie Slater, even before you ditched her. Soon you won't be interested in Sally Jupiter's little girl neither. You're drifting out of touch, Doc. You're turning into a flake. God help us all.
And so there was that. Now, from that somewhat interesting scenario that just played out, let's go to a very appropriate biblical sermon. Back at the funeral. In the present day.
Let me tell you something. For as much as it has pleased Almighty God, bros, and you ladies there too, I see you ladies, of his great mercy to take unto himself the soul of our dear brother here departed, bros, we therefore commit his body to the ground. Listen to this part, all right? Earth to earth, yeah. Ashes to ashes, bros, listen. Dust to gold dust, but we put a bra on him. Oh, man.
And now we transport ourselves to the year of 1972. And we do this as we see Dan Dryberg and we see the comedian floating around in Night Owl's ship known as the Riverdale.
Oh, well, you just bunch of fucking marks. Get out of the fucking streets. Listen, we're on our way to a big fucking show downtown. We ain't got time to sign autographs and do high fives, motherfuckers. Get the fuck out of the way.
Listen up. I've been pushing switches on bitches since 1943. You better get back in your ravels. I got riot gas. I got rubber bullets. I got a cellophane costume. I got a 10-inch kielbasa from Klondike Bill that has never pleasured a woman. I got a strap-on with laser precision accuracy that I am not afraid to use.
Oh, hell. Listen, there's no need to be scared. There's no need for fucking panic. As we speak right now, the police union is down at headquarters, negotiating themselves a new deal. Speaking of which, I told everybody in my fucking business that we needed to start a union back in 1964, but nobody listened to me back then. They all thought I was fucking crazy. And then here comes McMahon, and here comes Watts, working our asses over like crazy. I told you, motherfuckers, we should have started a union.
Okay, that does it.
You pig. You call yourself a comedian? You pig, and you fucking rapist.
Hey, no more dead cops! We don't want vigilantes! We want regular cops! He should turn himself in!
My son is a police officer, you bastards!
2 potato, 3 potato, 4 potato, you old bitch, heads up!
Oh, Jesus. Fuck, I'm sorry. You haven't left us any goddamn choice. This shit is dangerous. They tell these people not to OD on it too much. You do one line, you do maybe two lines, but you start doing 3 or 4, and your ass is going to get fucked up. Please, get the fuck out of the streets. Let us fucking through. God damn it, comedian, this is a nightmare. The whole place is about to fucking blow. Kind of like that time down in Puerto Rico when I had a ton of color. How long can we keep this shit up?
Ha! Look at them. Run, you fat asses.
Comedian, listen to me.
I heard what you said. My government contacts tell me some new act is being herded through. Until then, we're society's only protection. We keep it up long as we have to.
Protection? What the fuck are you talking about? Listen here, when I got a rat back behind the food line, the only protection I need is my goddamn fists. Rubbers are for fucking sailors, pal. Who the fuck are we protecting these assholes from?
From themselves. What's the matter? Don't feel comfortable unless you're up against some schmuck in a Halloween suit like myself? Speaking of which, where the hell are J.R. Shack and the others?
Oh, hell. John and Laurie are working down Mid-Atlantic in Baltimore. Rorschach's down with Watts in Mid-South, trying to hold down the Lower East. He, we kind of split up as a tag team, and he kind of works by himself these days, but there ain't no question who's the fucking Sean and who's the fucking Marty of the duo. The motherfucker's working mid-card, and I'm working on top in New York.
J.R. Shack's nuts. He's been nuts ever since that kidnapping he handled 3 years back. Him, Byron Lewis, John goddamn H. fucking Osterman, all nuts.
Oh, but you're fucking screwed on tight as a ball.
Oh, me? I keep things in proportion. Try to see the funny side. Drop that, you little fuck! Ha! You see this? I've seen that written up all over during this last 2 weeks. They don't like us, and they don't trust us.
Oh, this whole fucking situation, it's fucking terrible. Almost as bad as fucking Bruiser Brody down in Puerto Rico with Carlos.
Well, me? Kind of like it when things get weird, you know? Like when all the cards are on the table.
Oh, but the country's fucking disintegrating. What's happened to America? What happened to Del Wilkes? What happened to Marcus Alexander Bagwell and Scotty Riggs, the American males? What happened to Dusty fucking Rhodes, the American dream?
Look, Hung and Bung couldn't cut it as a tag team. The American dream, it came true. You're looking at it. Now come on, let's really put these jokers through some changes.
And now we find ourselves transported back to the funeral, the juxtaposition of the violence from the 1970s with the somber mood of the comedian's funeral all these years later.
Who shall change our vile body, bros, that it may be like unto his glorious body? You know what I mean? According to the mighty working, and this is not a work, this is a shoot, brother. Whereby he is able to subdue all things unto himself, bros. Can you believe that? Oh, I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, write this down, give me a napkin. From henceforth, bros, blessed are the dead which die in the Lord, even Jeff frickin' Jarrett. Even so saith the Spirit, for they rest from their labors. Lord, bro, have mercy upon us. Christ, have mercy upon us. Lord, have mercy upon us. Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, bro. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. You know the drill. Give us this day our daily bread. And swerve, forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us, bro. Oh, yeah. And by the way, lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Hey, freaking men, am I right?
And as we transition away from the funeral of Edward Blake, a.k.a. the comedian, we follow an elderly gentleman as he walks down the street towards his apartment. He enters his apartment, and he moves to the stove where he begins to brew himself a pot of tea when he has a most unwelcome visitor.
Ah! Sean! Ah, God! Please, this must be a mistake. You have the wrong person. Caller?
Pleasure to be on with you. No, Edward William Jacoby, also known as Edgar William Vaughn, also known as also Bright, also known as Moloch.
I love cornbread. I do not know what you're talking about, sir. I do not paint my bald spot. I am a businessman, a retired businessman and talk show host. Ah, damn it! Sean!
You're lying. Do it again. Broken arm. Not joking.
God, please don't, Rorschach. I spent the 70s in swingers clubs in Upper Manhattan. I'm not Moloch anymore. I'm just a humble talk show host with pointy ears, and I just want to be left alone. Do you ever wonder what the weather in Vermont is like? What do you want with me?
Hey, I got a question for you. Thanks for joining us today. I heard you attended a funeral today. Now, for those that might be listening out there, what do you think is the biggest problem with funerals today, and why is it selling?
Well, that's an interesting question. Funeral? I don't know. Nothing shocks me anymore. Like Eddie Warhol and Chris Jericho. I interviewed Ann Coulter once. Is that a man as a woman or a woman as a man? I don't know. Regardless, I went to the funeral because I had to be there. Edward Blake was a friend of mine. I knew Edward Blake. He was a handsome man with a great mustache. I wanted him to be a Dodger, but he ended up being a Nazi, if you will. Caller, I've been thinking about the comedian. He came to me at the refrigerator and he said, Why? Why? Oh, God, what did I just say?
How? How do you know Edward Blake was the comedian? That's what I'm trying to get at. He's been under a hood gimmick for, 30, 40 years now. How the hell did you know that Edward Blake was the comedian? I went for years not knowing that Art Barr was the juicer, for God's sake.
Well, the thing you gotta see, there's this kind of people, and there's that kind of people. And deep down, we're all people. And Edward Blake was one of those people. He said, Friend, you may be a Democrat, I may be a alt-right Republican, but in the end, we're all people. He was drunk. He was inebriated. I knew him for 40 years. I knew him back in Brooklyn with my brother. He had his mask off. He was scared. Scared of what? I don't know. Scared of Kleenex. Scared of no speed limits in Montana. Caller, he was crying. Rorschach, he was crying.
Now, Moloch, if that is your real name, you were enemies for 40 years. That's longer than Bullet Bob Armstrong feuded with the Fuller brothers. I know, I was there. Why? Now, you can be honest with me. I know there's a lot of people listening right now. Probably have the room bugged. Why should he visit you? Is what I want to know.
You cannot talk to people successfully if they think you are not interested in what they have to say, or whether or not they wear a mask, or bondage gear, or thongs, or what have you. The first rule of my speaking is, listen, New York, you're on the air. Edward Blake came into my room, naked, aroused, sweaty, and hairy. He was drunk, babbling, not making sense. I sat in bed. I said, Sean! Sean was not there. She was with the gardener. Once again. I called my son, Chase. Chase! But Chase was not there either. I thought Blake was going to kill me. He sounded crazy. This was a week before I heard he died. I guess this was Edward Blake's last performance as the comedian. Baltimore, you're on the air.
And as Moloch speaks, we see a flashback to the interior of the same apartment we currently find ourselves in, to just a few nights ago, with a crying Edward Blake situated on the foot of Moloch's bed.
It's a joke. It's all a fucking joke. I mean, let me tell you, when I started out, when I was a kid cleaning up the waterfronts, it was like real easy. The world was tough. You just had to be tougher, right? Not anymore. I mean, I thought I knew how it was, how the world was. But then I found out about this gag, this joke. You're part of it, Moloch, old pal. You know that? If I thought you did, I saw your name on the list, you and Janie Slater. But if I thought you were in on this, I'd kill you. You understand? Kill you. I mean, you fought that big blue geek, not unlike our sponsor, BlueApron.com. You know what his head's like. I mean, both his heads, if you know what I'm saying. Anyway, I tell you, who knows which way he'll jump. If anybody messes with him, he might just... Nah, I don't want to think about it. Don't you got any booze in this place? I mean, what gets me, right? What gets me? I never looked out of that airship window at that moment. Never seen the goddamn island. Never got involved. Ha! There it is, you some bitch. It stinks. It all stinks. I mean, this joke. I mean, I thought I was a comedian, you know. Oh God, I can't believe it. Can't believe anybody would do that. I can't believe. Oh, Jesus. Look at me, I'm crying. You don't know. You don't know what's happening. These are demons. It's an intergalactic invasion into this space through people. They have sexual rituals. Some of the most ancient Egyptian rituals where they believe they are possessed by entities. Space aliens. These are people that had gay sex hundreds of times in coffins, in giant pits of feces, begging for spiritual entities to possess them. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Apologize. Get reoriented. On that island, they got writers, scientists, artists, what they're doing. I mean, I've done some bad things. I did bad things to women. I shot kids in Nam. Shot kids in Nam. But I never did anything like, oh, mother, forgive me. Forgive me. Forgive me. Forgive me. I mean, what's funny? What's so goddamn funny? I don't get it. Somebody explain. Somebody explain the fucking joke to me.
And with that, we transition back from the flashback of the comedian's tearful address to Moloch, and we return to the present day where Rorschach and Moloch are still in Moloch's apartment.
Poof. Sandy Koufax, he went to the same high school as me. And then Edward Blake left. I don't know what the hell it was about. I've got to renegotiate my contract. Things you never know what's going to happen. Caller, you're on the air.
Mom, that's a funny story. Now, I can hear you tweeting me right now. I can hear it. I can sense these things. I know that you're tweeting me at Rorschach's BBQ. You're tweeting me that it sounds unbelievable. And maybe it is. Maybe it doesn't even happen. Quite frankly, maybe that's not even true what you're telling me right now. However, it probably is.
Rorschach, have you ever seen the movie Les Miserables? It's a story about John Valjean. He was a criminal. He did his time. He had an opportunity to be paroled, and he stole some candlesticks, and he became a mayor. That's what I'm saying. Clean? Really?
Oh, clean, huh? Clean. You are clean. Well, quite frankly, it's easy to say that now from your position to be an armchair Monday morning quarterback. However, I went through the liberty of doing the work. I showed up, I did my job, I searched your house before you got back. I knew you wouldn't mind. Hell, we've been friends a long time, Malik. We go back years. You know what I found? I found illegal and illicit drugs that include but are not limited to anabolic steroids.
So you're saying I'm on drugs? Well, it's joyful to give. But like I told my friend Regis Philbin back in 1982, people are going to want to take advantage of you. You're an easy mark. They like you. You're a nice kind of guy. But if you're saying that I use drugs, listen, Solly, the only kind of drugs I've ever used are hair drugs. But you didn't hear that from me. If you're planting evidence on me, so help me God.
It's a new drug that has just hit the streets called Hiroshi Lateril. It is a phony medication, for God's sake. It's made from apricot pits. That was outlawed 3 years ago. Apricot pits are illegal in this country.
So you're saying there's a chance. Lateral. That's phony. You're not serious. I heard it wasn't working. I was desperate. I had the cancer. My hair grows, sir. But if you're desperate, you'll try anything. Please don't take it away.
You talk about the drug working or not working, and quite frankly, that is irrelevant in my opinion. The problem is whether it is selling or not. Is the drug selling? Is the drug taking the time to tell the story in the drug? I mean, in the cancer that it is trying to defeat right now, for God's sake. I'm all backwards and confused. However, let me get back to the point at hand, quite frankly. I got off topic for a minute. I'm going to get right back to the topic, and I'm going to say cancer? What kind of cancer do you have right now, quite frankly?
Did you ever take the stem out of the apple and then plant it and try to have a tree?
Of course.
My brother Maury and I did this many, many years ago, and nothing ever happened. Just like my cancer. Well, speaking of cancer, the cancer that's curable, the cancer that gets better when you're fixed.
Yeah, I heard of it.
Sir, that ain't the kind of cancer I got.
Oh, very well. I copied down the name of the company. I'll report them later. You are off the hook for now. And in the meantime, if you could also help out our sponsors. I want to talk to you about the Fight TV app. That's Fight TV, F-I-T-E, Fight Like You Mean It. Rorschach's Journal, October 16th, 1985. 42nd Street. Oh, women's breasts draped across every billboard, every display, littering the sidewalk. Was offered Swedish love and French love. But where is the good old-fashioned Oklahoma American love? American love like Coke through the nose of Buddy Landell. Like Red Bastien's Colonel. They don't make it anymore. Thought about Moloch's story on the way to the cemetery. Hell, it could all be lies. There's a lot of scumbags in this business. People that don't be honest with you. People that'll lie to you, to your face, and say nasty things about you. Could be all part of a revenge scheme planned during his decade behind bars. But if it's true, then what? There's a puzzling reference to an island, also to Dr. Manhattan, also to Dr. Death. Let me tell you about Dr. Death. First time I saw Dr. Death, Steve Williams, he walked into my office, and I said, my God, look at that head. That has got to be the biggest skull I have ever seen on a human being, quite frankly. I knew he'd be a star from that minute, and I knew that he'd be one of the biggest things to hit this country. That was before Dr. Manhattan, quite frankly. Might he be at risk in some way? So many questions. Well, never mind. Again, answers are going to come here soon. Nothing's insoluble. Nothing's hopeless. Not while there's Austin. In the cemetery, All the white crosses stood in rows, neat chalk marks on a giant scorecard. Paid my last respects quietly, without fuss. Although I will say this, who was it that thought of the idea of having massive public funerals? Whoever that guy is, probably pretty smart. Probably understands the death business pretty well, wouldn't you say? You know, I was employed by the death business for a while. I worked as an undertaker for a little bit, worked as a cemetery owner for a little while, came up with some good ideas while I was there. But that, you know, I don't want to blow my own horn there, just throwing it out there. Anyway, Edward Morgan Blake, born 1924. That was exactly 15 years before Watts was born. 45 years a comedian. He died in 1985 and was buried in the rain. Is that what happens to us? A life of conflict with no time for your buddies, for your friends, for your pals? So that when it's done, only our enemies, the heels, if you will, leave roses. Folks, I want to talk to you about that, by the way. What self-respecting heel would leave roses to his opponent? A heel should, quite frankly, be interested in getting heat. That is your top priority. That is the number one concern you need to have. Now, violent lives ending violently. Dollar Bill, the Silhouette, Captain Metropolis. We never die in bed, although I wouldn't mind dying in bed with Victoria, who's another person that I signed, quite frankly, in my time with Talent Relations in the greatest of all eras, the Attitude Era. Not allowed. Something in our personalities, perhaps, some animal urge to fight and struggle is making us what we are, unimportant. We do what we have to do, quite frankly. Others, they might bury their heads between the swollen teats of indulgence and gratification. Piglets squirming beneath a sow for shelter. But there ain't no shelter. You might as well stick your head up your own ass, quite frankly. And the future is bearing down like an express train right up said ass. Blake understood, treated it like a joke, but he understood. He saw the cracks in society, the ass cracks of society, if you will. Saw the little men in masks trying to hold it together the way that Robert Fuller had to hold it together every time he went to the men's urinal. He saw the true face of the 20th century and chose to become a reflection of it. No one else saw the joke. Not him, not anybody else. That's why, if you ask me, and nobody did, I understand that. Nobody asked good old Rorschach, but that's why he was lonely. That reminds me. Heard a joke once. Man goes to the doctor. He says, "Oh, I'm depressed." He says, "Life seems harsh and cruel." He says, he feels all alone in this threatening world, in this business. Now, where what lies ahead is vague and uncertain. So the doctor, he says, well, treatment's simple. The great clown Pagliacci is in town tonight. Go and see him. That should pick you up. The man at this point bursts into tears, and he says, "But doctor, I am Kazuchika Pagliacci." Good joke. Everybody laugh. Roll on the snare drum. Curtains. And thus we wrap up Chapter 2, and we move on to Chapter 3 as the Doomsday Clock continues to progress. Nick.
And we visit, as Greg will say later in this endeavor, that most contemporary of settings, a newsstand on the street corner.
Chapter 3, The Judge of All the Earth.
We ought to nuke Russia. Let God sort it out. I mean, I see the signs, I read the headlines, I look things in the face, you know? I'm a news vendor, goddammit. A news and Kryptonian bagel vendor. I'm informed on the situation. We ought to nuke them till they glow. Of course, that's just my opinion. For what it's worth, you know, in the final analysis. Listen, I see every goddamn front page of the world. I absorb information. I miss nothing. For instance, more disasters happen, the more papers I sell. Explain that. See, everything's connected. A news vendor understands that. He doesn't retreat from reality. The weight of the world's on him, but does he quit? Nah, he's like Atlas, or Atlas's cousin Larry. He can take it. He's a survivor. It's like this afternoon, Nova Express is holding its front page, so no delivery till the night. A catastrophe, but I coped. News vendors always cope. We are indestructible. We thrive on disaster. Oh, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Is it here yet?
Oh, your copy of the New Frontiersman. Sure, it's here. I keep it for you every day, don't I? How's the end of the world coming along?
Oh, it'll happen today. I've seen signs. National Examiner reported a two-headed cat born in Queens. Saw an Alex Wright match yesterday. Looked wonderful. Today for certain. You'll keep my paper for me tomorrow, my boy.
Oh, sure, I will. No sweat. Have a nice day.
You won't forget.
And with that, we transition away from the newspaper, the newsstand on the street corner, and we head back to the military research facility that is the home of Dr. Manhattan and Laurie Jupiter. And we find those two characters engaged in a little bit of adult activity.
John, when do you have to do that TV interview this evening? Is it soon?
What? Oh no, we have plenty of time. I can keep exploring all these icky little bits. It's not gross at all.
Good. Hey, licking your finger, it's like licking a battery. It's all sort of,
And with that, Laurie is startled as she sits up in bed to discover not one, but two Doctors Manhattan laying in bed with her.
Ah! Oh, God, that's horrible. Stop it. John, be one person again.
Laura, you shouldn't be upset. I thought you'd enjoy this. I am working very hard to please you. It's very difficult.
I know. I'm sorry. I overreacted. You just startled me. That's all. Look, I gotta find a cigarette. I'll be all right.
I'm sorry. I don't know what stimulates you anymore, and clearly you don't really care about what stimulates me.
John, please, it's okay. Forget it. I'm fine, really.
No,
it doesn't matter.
For example, did you know that the anus has the second highest density of nerve endings in the human body? If you listen to me every once in a while, you'd know that, because listening is what good couples do.
Well, quite frankly, I'm not ready for three of you at the same time.
Well, if you're sure, perhaps I'll just go get ready for my interview. Now, Laurie, are you sure you're okay?
Am I okay? John, how the hell long have you been working out here?
I'm sorry. Please do try to understand.
Understand nothing? Were you working in here at the same time we were in bed?
Laura, the work is at a very important stage, and it seemed unnecessary to just keep working on your bits whenever I could be out here doing something far more stimulating for me.
It seemed unnecessary to throw me a pity fuck? Shut up. I hate you. Oh, God. John, how could you? I'm leaving. I'm fucking leaving. I'm getting dressed, and I'm leaving.
Well, if that's what you feel like you have to do, but I would prefer that if we could just sit down and have a nice, calm discussion. We can pull out some of these leftover wheat thins that Rorschach didn't want. We could branch on some of these Oreos, too, and have a little juice box. And we could talk about all these attitude problems that you're accusing me of having. Laurie, are you still there?
And now let us go to a place where there are no batteries being licked. Office building, where Janie Slater, the ex-girlfriend of Dr. Manhattan, is being interviewed by an intrepid reporter.
I remember soon after he failed to prevent JFK's assassination, we argued. I said, John, you know how every damn thing in this world fits together except people. He couldn't relate to me, not emotionally, certainly not sexually. Within 3 years, he dumped me for some 16-year-old skank who ran around in her underwear. One day he'll find out. He'll find out what it feels like.
I see. So, Miss Slater, how do you feel now that you've learned about your condition?
Bitter. Bitter as hell. I started smoking 3 packs a day. Figured, why not? I mean, I have no illusions. I mean, nobody's gonna miss me. After all, no one's gonna miss me. I know that, especially not him, that little harpy. See, he doesn't care. He doesn't get old. That's excuse me. Why am I talking to you people? I want the world to know about him, what he did to me, and I keep quiet all these years, but then the latest thing happened to me, and I can't just let it... Excuse me. After all he meant to me, after all the times he loved me... I'm sorry.
It's okay, Miss Slater. If you want, we can stop here. Miss Slater, I'd like to thank you for helping Nova Express so much with these investigations. I'm sure after the paper finally goes out tonight, you'll feel so much better.
Oh, fuck you! I won't! Not after what he did to me. Some things, once they're busted, you can't fix them. Can't fix them for shit. I'm glad your paper contacted me, and I'm glad that after the show tonight, everyone is gonna know what he did. Jesus Christ, such relief. It's fucking relief to talk to somebody.
And we go from the complaints of one Janie Slater into an apartment building as Lori enters the building and sees someone inside.
Lori, what the fuck are you doing here? Sorry about all the mess. I'm putting a new lock on the goddamn door that Rorschach broke the other night.
It's okay, friend. Almost true here.
Oh, thanks, buddy. If you want to come on to the kitchen, I'll grab you a Four Loko. I don't have any fucking coffee. It's funny, I was hoping I'd run into you so I could thank you for that dinner last week. I thought maybe you'd be at the funeral, but John said you had to visit your mammy. Here, take a chair. You take some booger sugar with your Four Loko?
Yeah, 2 sugars.
No problem. So anyway, how's your mama and them? Mason was asking after her just the other week.
Oh, she's great. Just great.
Hell, I thought I had more coke than that. Is 1 lump okay, or should I go out?
No, 1 lump's fine. Just fine.
Oh, shit. Hey, what's the problem here?
Oh, God, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Hey, look, it's okay. Here's some Kleenex. Clean ones, too. Not even been soiled. Hey, I mean, listen, whatever's bothering you, it's not the end of the world, right?
I left John.
Oh. Well, I see.
I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm dumping it on you. I don't know anybody else. I don't know anyone else except goddamn superheroes.
Well, look, I don't know. Maybe you're making too much out of it.
You think this is our first argument? Dan, living with him, you don't know what it's like. The way he looks at things, like he can't remember what the fuck they are and doesn't particularly care. This world, the real world, to him it's like walking through mist and all the people are shadows, just shadows in the fog. I mean, tonight, right? I walked out after 20 years, and you know what I bet he's doing? His big emotional reaction? He's either smartening up for his TV interview or watching Quarks get stuck to Gluinos. Maybe both.
So, where are you gonna go? Got any place to stay tonight?
Yeah, well, I guess I'll just splash out to some overnight accommodation and think things through. Just a hotel or someplace, somewhere normal. Dan, I'm sorry. I've turned up in hysterics when you were probably about to dress for going out.
Oh, look, it's okay. I just wish you'd come by more often. As for tonight, I'm only seeing that old fuck Hollis, and he doesn't care how people dress. Now, you drink this Four Loko while it's cold. Here's looking at you, kid.
Yeah, here's looking at me. You know, sometimes I look at myself and I don't understand. Sometimes I think, how did everything get so tangled up? Anyway, you don't want to get into all that stuff. Come on, I'm holding you up from visiting Hollis. Grab your coat and I'll walk over there with you.
Don't you want your fucking Four Loko?
No, I'm sorry. It's too bitter. Anyway, I'd rather be somewhere else than sitting here feeling sorry for myself.
Well, look, if you're sure you wouldn't rather just sit here and have a chat, Hollis would understand if I was running a little late.
Dan, listen, it's 6:15 already, and you know New York on a Saturday night. Sometimes the cabs just disappear, and getting from point A to point B takes forever.
Well, I'm all true here. You're safe as houses. What happened anyway? You all get robbed?
No, just an asshole buddy of mine showed up when I wasn't expected.
I got buddies like that, always turning up drunk.
completely out of the blue. Incidentally, lady, I heard what you said about cabs. Why don't you call my brother's company, the Promethean? It beats walking. These are bad neighborhoods.
That's okay. I'm in a bad mood.
And now, loyal listeners, let us change the scene for you. Let us go to the inside of a 1980s television studio. Dr. Manhattan arrives and meets with the people that are working for a certain television series as he begins to talk to the world.
Fly me to the moon, let me fuck amongst my stars. Oh, I guess Dr. Osterman finally arrived. Nobody thinks to tell me, Vincent Kennedy McMahon Jr., I guess Greg Phillips is too busy choking down that Smirnoff Ice to give a shit. Marvelous! Mark Marrow!
Well, duh, don't blame me. I mean, I just took over reception and he just appeared. I feel sick. They're not paying me enough for this shit. They're just paying me to handle monsters from outer space? No.
You haven't left us enough time for makeup. You look like Mike fucking McGurk. That blue is far too light for television.
Dr. Osterman, look, I'm Forbes, Army Intelligence. Look, we got a list of no-goes, just things you don't want to talk about at all. Okay, number one, big blue dick. You don't bring it up. It's big, it's there, it's wagging. You don't bring it up. Please don't bring the dick up. Look, obviously, Afghanistan will rise. Play cool, man, okay? And don't try to get into any tight corners, okay? Because we don't need that shit tonight.
Oh, all right then. Well, they told me I had to wear a tuxedo before I came in because someone wasn't appreciative of my big blue penis. I could shrink it back if that make you feel better, but I guess this will do fine too. And I thought that the sky blue or maybe the powder blue would work well for this particular occasion, maybe even a little periwinkle. But okay, I'll go down to a little blueberry. Is this dark enough?
Who the fuck is this guy? My God! The Dirty F is unbelievable! Yes! That's just Mr. Perfect! That's certainly dark enough for my purposes! Let's get down! Let's get funky! It can't get any darker for me!
If Geneva comes up, look, just the official position is they can't resume until the Soviets agree to exclude you from the agenda. All right?
I don't understand any of this shit. Whatever, we're on! Shh!
Ladies and gentlemen, I think we're ready to start. And believe me, we have something really special for you tonight. In his first ever question and answer session, let's have a big hand, please, for Doc Manhattan himself, Dr. Jonathan Osterman. John, I hope you'll forgive me for asking you this, but what's up, Doc?
Oh, there's nothing to big yet. Up is a relative concept, though. Much like the TV show Gotham, it has no intrinsic value.
Right. Okay. Now, let's get on to the questions. Hey, you, over there.
Dr. Manhattan, if the Reds act up in Afghanistan, will you be prepared to enter hostilities?
As far as I've been told, there is no situation in Afghanistan. Everybody's getting along just fine. But I wouldn't mind going over there and maybe getting myself a nice hat, maybe a nice rug too. And I do like those pretty Afghans. I think one would look good on me. But currently there's nothing requiring my attention. Just like there's nothing requiring my attention on Monday nights whenever Gotham is airing.
Okay, that's fine. How about you over there? Yes, that's you, sir. Tiger Woods. And please, nope, not you. I'll move on to the next one. Please, let's try and keep it snappy.
Dr. Osterman, I'm Doug Roth. I write for the Nova Express. You may have heard of it. I wonder if you remember Wally Weaver. Back in the early 60s, the newspapers called him Dr. Manhattan's buddy. He died of cancer in 1971. I believe it was quite sudden and painful.
Oh yeah, I remember Wally. He was a good man. That was a sad time for all of us. But I like to look on the bright side of things. After I attended his funeral, I discovered these great little periwinkles and turned myself nice, pretty blue. It was a good time. Made me feel
Really?
better. Yes.
Really? How about Edgar W. Jacoby, also known as Moloch? You encountered him several times during the 60s in battles, conflicts. Whatever it is you super people do. Did you know that Jacoby also has terminal cancer?
What? Oh no, I didn't know that. But I'd rather not talk about that right now.
What's the matter, doctor? Don't you like the line of questioning? Am I starting to make you feel uncomfortable? Then how about this one? Did you know that Miss Janie Slater, linked romantically with you in the 60s, is currently suffering from lung cancer? Doctors have given her 6 months to live. Notice any connection? Because from where I'm standing, it's starting to look pretty conclusive.
Janie, but I wasn't told, but I knew that she spent way too much time watching Gotham, but I didn't think it would lead to cancer. Are you suggesting?
Oh yeah, that is it. That is it. Guys, Jesus Christ. We give this blue fuck to you for 10 minutes and you start questioning him about his exes? No way. That's it, folks. Show's over. Blue dick in the bag. Let's get out of here.
Also, we have reports of more than 24 other past associates similarly afflicted.
Dr. Osterman, Tina Price from the Washington Post. Are these allegations true?
Come on, let's get out of here, all right? This mob is getting aroused, and Tina Price, your tone is enraging.
Dr. Manhattan, tell me, do you think you gave Miss Slater the cancer by sleeping with her?
No, because we never, wait, I wasn't supposed to tell that. That's telling tales out of skew. Please, if you'll just let me through.
Let him through, for God's sake. His penis is blue. Of course it's going to cause problems. We're not here to answer questions about those intimate problems.
How does it feel to know that you may have doomed hundreds of people?
Please, if everybody would just kindly go away and leave me alone. I feel like I need to lay down.
Gentlemen, I think it's safe to say he slept with thousands, not hundreds of people, and if we pursue this line of thinking...
Dr. Manhattan, how often did...
That's it. I said for y'all to leave me alone. Bye now.
And with that, Dr. Manhattan uses incredible teleportation powers to transport the entire audience out of the studio, leaving himself alone as he requested.
And now, Lori and Dan, having just survived a harrowing attempted mugging and heroically fended off their attackers, are walking outside along an alleyway.
Well, I guess I ought to go find a hotel. I'm a bit wiped out. After that, Jesus, us getting mugged? Look, I'm shaking. Once the adrenaline wears off, I always feel sort of weird, sort of empty.
Well, look, are you sure? Why not go visit that old fuck Hollis? That motherfucker's got a duffel bag full of somas. Take one of those motherfuckers, get your breath back a little bit.
I've had enough superhero shit for one day. I'm gonna find a hotel and think my relationship over. See if I can come up with one good reason to stick around. God, it feels so much better now that it's out in the open. Thanks for listening. Anyway, you take care of yourself, Dan. It's a tough world out there.
Yeah, you too, Lori. Catch your ass later.
And now, for the first time in quite some time, let us return to the very old-looking apartment of Hollis Mason with cat droppings and eggs scattered about.
Judge Hackensmith? Danny? Hey, buddy. How are you? You're late. I thought you had an accident like my son Brett, in a bicycle accident. And, you can't drive a bicycle. I thought I raised him better, but he drove a bicycle into a fucking truck.
No fucking accident, Hollis. I appreciate your concern. No, I just worked fucking 60 minutes with Baron Von Raschke down at the Municipal Center. Went to a fucking Broadway, had a lot of color, worked all around the fucking place, stretched that motherfucker from one side of the arena to the other. Of course, I got them all the pop, got all the heat. That motherfucker's gonna be dreaming about my finish for the next 6 months of his goddamn life.
Baron Von Raschke. That man had the smoothest head I've ever seen. You put some oil on that and it'll slide in anything. You're not the only one who's been in trouble. I watched the version, the boom, the thing in the place with the voices in the box, and the blue, the guy with the blue muscles and the blue penis on TV. My son-in-law Jim had a blue penis once, but he wasn't the same. And anyway, they crucified him worse than they crucified Jim Londo.
Dr. Manhattan, what the fuck are you talking about? I know that motherfucker. I used to have my gimmick table set up next to his, the Mid-Atlantic Reunion in Baltimore every fucking year. What the hell's going on?
Baltimore, great place. I watched Ed the Strangler Lewis wrestle a bear for 60 minutes in Baltimore, and then I watched him make love to the bear. And then the time of TV tonight, there was no making love to bears. No, some guy stood up and accused him of giving a lot of people the cancer, including that whore Jenny Slater. Doc, he looked like he had the Parkinson's. Shaking like a tomato stew in there. And the stew hard, he started shouting. And 1 minute the camera's really close on him, and the next he went, Bluey, I say, and Bluey, and they're putting pictures in the parking lot, and he did a thing where he teleported, like on that fruity show with the guys in the space uniforms out of the building and cameras and all.
Oh, hell, I was just with his woman, Lori, out behind the food line, doing a little bit of the sucking fuck. I probably gave her the clap, and probably a kid named Terry Jean that's going to grow up to look just like me. I'd say I gave her the gift that keeps on fucking giving, but she don't have a clue about this shit. I wonder what she's going to do when she finds out.
The best sucking fuck I ever saw was Bad News Island down on Kid Kamikaze. Kid Kamikaze was all of 3 feet tall, but Bad News Island took him all day. Anyway, we still know she's enough. The show is on prime time, the big time. And the son of a bitch, McMahon, the world will know soon enough. Tell my son Owen, Smith and Dean, all of them are telling me about Fritz von Erich again.
Let's go to one of those most contemporary of places, the newsstand on the side of the street, where we see Bernie talking to some customers and a delivery man.
Oy vey, I knew it. Will you look at that?
Sorry they're late. They wanted to wait till the TV show was on the air before they played the Grand Slam.
Cancer, I might have known. They ought to deport the radioactive Goya. Put him in exile. Ha! Inside, his ex says they couldn't relate sexually. Maybe that means he's as queer as a $3 bill. My wife, she fantasized about this creep. Oh, I suspected all along.
Hey, it's raining. Let me your cat, man. I'm getting wet.
No chance. I don't lend things. It's my philosophy, at least without interest.
Suit yourself, jive-ass.
In this world, you shouldn't rely on help from anybody. In the end, a man stands alone, all alone in the final analysis.
And now we transition into the dilapidated research facility from whence Dr. Manhattan began, where Dr. Manhattan is about to enter.
Walking on the moon.
Oh, hey.
They say,
hey.
Wishing my days away.
I said, hey, how y'all doing? Oh, for God's sake.
It's a price. I'm sorry, Dr. Osterman. You just startled me. I was just painting a warning piece as ordered. After that TV show, I thought it was best to comply with safety regulations.
Oh, that's okay. Regulations is good rules. They there for a reason. Otherwise, accidents might happen. Like what happened the other night with me and Laurie. Yeah, that was kind of embarrassing. But it seems I'm incapable of cohabitating safely, either emotionally or physically. Perhaps you'd best tell all of them that, your superiors and them that I'm just leaving. I don't feel like being here anymore.
Leaving?
Yeah, I thought I might go to Arizona for a little while. You see, I have these allergies and, well, the dry air there, it really helps. It helps a lot. I can breathe better, and it'll give me a good time to work on my tan lines before I leave for Mars.
Doc, you got me going there. Hey, you're a regular kind of guy. Holy Christ. Sergeant, I got a message for you.
And with that, we see Dr. Manhattan teleport out of the military facility, and we see him arrive at the aforementioned Arizona, where he enters a dilapidated bar. Inside the bar, he finds an old photograph. He picks it up from the ground, and he teleports again, leaving our world behind. And as we leave Dr. Manhattan, as he teleports away from Arizona, we transport back to that most contemporary of settings, the newsstand on the street corner.
You've seen this. He's gone. The new frontiersman says it's the Russians. I mean, what's next, you know?
Give me a Gazette, you son of a bitch. You bastard. You egg-sucking dog.
Well, sure. There you are. You know, I had it tagged for a red smear from the start. I'm a news vendor. A news and Kryptonian Daxamite fusion bakery vendor. How about you? I didn't see the world end yesterday.
Are you sure, Cactus? Where are you, Cactus? What the hell's going on?
Hey, listen, are you back again? What are you thinking of paying for that funny book?
And now we transition from that ultra-relevant 80s newsstand into the military installation where Laurie Jupiter arrives with Forbes to discover that Dr. Manhattan is no longer there.
Gone? What do you mean he's gone?
Oh my God, I'm so tired of dealing with this. Look, I don't know where you spent the night last night, Mrs. Juperstein, but haven't you read the papers? Dr. Manhattan, he left Earth. Now please, look, we have to give you a cancer scan, all right? I got to take a serious look at your body and ask you some questions.
Cancer scan? What the fuck is this? Who are all these people? Leave that alone. That's my mother's.
Miss Juperstein, we have to ask, all right? We have to ask, we have to look. It's just how it is, okay? Did you place Dr. Osterman Did you place Dr. Osterman under any emotional stress last night?
What? Are you blaming me for something? Who the fuck do you think you are? Listen, when John gets back, you're in big trouble.
Jesus Christ, look. Sorry. I know you don't. Anyway, look, I've taken enough of this. Listen, lady, if our psychologists are right, John is possibly never coming back. Your meal ticket has flown the coop. That big blue bastard's flown away and he's not coming back. The linchpin of America's strategic superiority has apparently gone to Mars. But you're right. I'm in big trouble, and you're in big trouble, and we're all in big trouble, Juperstein.
We enter the home of Dan Dryberg, where he is currently laying in bed sleeping. And at this point, the mysterious figure of Rorschach enters the room, dropping a heavy newspaper onto Dan and waking him from his slumber.
Hey, what the fuck?
Oh, good morning, Daniel. Brought you your Sunday paper. Comedian murdered, Dr. Manhattan exiled, 2 of us gone, all within a week. Who's next? Bite, Just Spexic, me, you, Kazuchka. Who else is left? By the way, you need a stronger lock. That new one broke after just one shove.
You broke my new fucking lock?
Poor choice. Get a more expensive one next time. You can't be too security conscious. Don't take so many bumps that you use up your bump card in life, Daniel. Quite frankly, I would suggest that if you just sail once in a while, then perhaps it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility for me and your door to have a time limit draw next time. Especially these days. These days, nobody's safe, Daniel. I'll be seeing you. Thanks for the coffee and for the cereal. And now let us return back to that newsstand where Bernie is still prattling on.
You know, superheroes are finished. These days, it's all pirates. Back in 39, before the real masked men showed up, superhero comics were enormous. Guess their appeal wore off. I remember there was Superman, Flashman, Batman. Here's the evening edition delivery.
Hey, man, I ain't buying this. Rip-off store ain't got no ending.
Give me a break, will ya? I'm accepting a consignment. Thanks, Chuck.
Just left hanging with that ship coming in gonna kill everybody? Shit, I'm going home.
Let's see what's happening in the world this fine Sunday night. Oh, Jesus.
Jive Pirates, man. You can keep it.
What? No. You can have it. And you can have my cap, too. Listen, you get home to your ma, okay? You be good to her. I mean, we all gotta look out for each other, don't we? I mean, that's my philosophy.
Sure. Hey, thanks for the stuff, man. Listen, I gotta go. Take care, man.
Yeah, you too. And don't worry about paying for that book. I mean, life's too short. In the final analysis. Point.
And now we go into one of Watchmen's patented parallel scenes as we simultaneously view Mars, where Dr. Manhattan is walking across the surface of Mars. Meanwhile, we're also in the war room of then-President Richard M. Nixon.
Mr. President, the latest fucking chick just came through. This one wasn't written by that asshole Vince Russo, though. If the Soviets continue into Pakistan, it's 60% certain they're going to try taking goddamn Western Europe as well.
Huh. If he wanted to live on a red planet, he should have stayed home. Well, General, what do you think?
Wait. Mama said that we could be ready for that first strike in 7 days. We got that high quality H2O, and I advise leaving it a little longer. There's a 54% chance of wiping them out before half their birds even in the air. And it'd be total devastation, just like Captain Insano.
And would our losses be acceptable?
Mr. President, let me tell you right now, I'm running a program which some have said is slicker than cum on a gold tooth, and it says right now that it assumes we've knocked out the Eastern Bloc, that a percentage of the warheads were already en route, and any moment now, we'll be able to give you a good look at what that's going to look like.
Well, I've seen worse scenarios.
I have too. Specifically, Gotham on Fox Monday nights. What a terrible program. Anybody who watches that should get hit by this nuclear fallout. Is that some heading for our East Coast there? At this point in our contingency plans, where exactly should we be? Tell me, Mr. Nixon.
Somewhere else, Henry.
It looks like there's Boston and there goes New York and Baltimore and Washington.
That's pretty fucking breathtaking, if you ask me.
I'll say. Do you have a projection of the fallout Tokyo drift from that?
Well, coming up now, with anticipated wind patterns, looks like all those flipping motherfuckers down in Mexico would catch the worst. We could probably salvage a lot of the farm belt, like the Tennessee territory, Smoky Mountain, which I ran for many years, Mr. President, in case you were not aware, best damn wrestling territory that ever existed.
That notwithstanding, losing the East Coast we need to. I don't know. I always kind of hoped that this big decision would rest with somebody else. This is going to take some thinking about.
Oh, Dick. It's like old naval battles. So much depends on a quirk of the wind. After that, the humanity is in the hands of a higher authority than mine. That's your line. The wind's a force of nature. The August wind, the autumn wind comes like a pirate. It's totally impartial, totally indifferent.
Script issues aside, I think we'll give it a week, gentlemen, before bringing out our big guns. After that, humanity is in the hands of a higher authority than mine. Let's just hope he's on our side.
And as our great President Tricky Dick speaks these final words, we see Dr. Manhattan drop the photograph that he picked up in the bar to the red sand of Mars. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where we will leave you for this installment of Place to Be Nation Pop Comic Book Theater. I hope you have enjoyed, as we have ruined the comics medium for everyone. Greg, any final thoughts here?
Well, I think that the best way to sum this up would be to describe it the way that God once described looking down on his creation, Earth. I have listened to our creation, and it is good.
Thank you, folks, for listening. Let us know if you potentially want more of this, or if you don't. I'm going to assume that you don't.
Yes, I don't think anyone is ever going to want to listen to this one time, much less multiple times. However, we're enjoying the hell out of it. So we'd love to keep making these, so please give us any kind of false encouragement needed to do this again.
Absolutely. With all that being said, we hope you enjoyed it, and stay tuned here to Place to Be Nation Pop and check out all the great shows, and maybe at some point in the future we'll have another installment of Place to Be Nation Pop Comic Book Theater. Thanks again.
Comic Book Theater, 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 Comic Book Theater.